Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson from the AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Matsuricon 2016 with Mr. Patrick Seitz. How you doing?
Doing good.
Alrighty, so it's been quite a while since the last time you and I have had a chance to talk. It was at OhioCon 2011. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been busy. Time is going by very quickly, it seems like, these last couple of years. No, it's been a good half decade. A lot of directing, a lot of writing, voice acting. Whenever one thing slows down, it seems like the other two pick up to fill the time. So overall, I can't complain.
Yeah, because the last time we'd seen you didn't have the hair and you didn't have the beard, so things have changed. Now again, this year's Matsuricon is all about One Piece. What's it like that? And on top of that, with all your fellow Straw Hats, I mean, you and I were just at the One Piece Tells All panel, and there's been the One Piece podcast panel. So what's it like just having a ton of awesome Straw Hats all together at once?
It's nice. I mean, especially with me being in LA, I don't get the chance to see those guys very often, so it's cool having us all in one place at one time. And I mean, people are always coming through and always giving the One Piece love, but it's especially cool when there is that extra added focus on One Piece at an event like this. A lot of One Piece merch coming through, a lot of Frankie love, and I love One Piece, so it's great being with a crowd that's equally enthused about it.
Yeah, so since last time we had talked, you also got to work on the hit show Kill la Kill. How is it like using your deep voice to inflict discipline on your fellow voice cast members? I mean, Christina V and now Miss, why can't I remember her name? And we've had her twice now. Having Erica Menendez, all those wonderful people and inflicting discipline on them.
That's just another day at the office for me. I yell at people a lot. No, it's weird because in real life I'm so just sort of affable and easygoing, but then I get cast to be these guys that are just absolute lunatics. But it's nice. I mean, Kill la Kill 2, talk about a show with a very strong and fervent following. I think the only downside to Kill la Kill was I would only do 2-hour sessions because with him screaming all the time, anything more than that would be ill-advised.
Right, and then again, you got to work on another hit show being an Attack on Titan, which is again a very disciplinary character. So how did you take on that, and especially because that's a Dallas-based project? How did you manage that?
Same way I did with like Italia and One Piece. Just they let me know how many hours they need me for, how many days, and then I found a window in my schedule to go down there and knock it out, and then hurry back home. With Keith in Attack on Titan, it's. Again, it's just sort of making sure you have enough energy for it. Making sure you're giving each line what it needs, but then looking at that overall picture of like, okay, how long does this marathon go for to make sure that I'm not going to murder myself in the process. But he's fun. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to talk about a set of things I love, and that's Blizzard Entertainment. I've been following them since, I think, 1994, when I was like 8. So, I was way too young, but I didn't care. You're brought in for a ton of great games, being World of Warcraft and StarCraft and Diablo. But my favorite was that you were in the last campaign of StarCraft 2, which we talked about all the way back in 2011, that you were being brought in just at the beginning of that series, and now you were the lead character for the end chapter of the Protoss. So what was it like working on all those wonderful projects? I mean, Blizzard just loves having you. So what's it like just having that love from Blizzard?
Well, I mean, let me tell you, if ever there was a company to have, shower opportunities upon you like that, it's definitely Blizzard's the one to do it. Yeah. I tell people if every game company treated me like Blizzard did, I would live in a Zeppelin above the city. They've showered so many opportunities on me. And with StarCraft especially, it was kind of surreal because seeing how 2 was broken up into those 3 games, like, okay, here's the Terran campaign, here's the Zerg campaign, and knowing the Protoss campaign was coming, even with that in mind, it was still surreal when we got to that moment. They're like, okay, this is going to be a bunch of Artanis. I'm like, whoa, okay. But it's great. I mean, they have the money and the clout and the reputation. They can take the time and really get it right. I mean, we can come back to a scene in a future session and pick something up or tweak it, or, we looked at it all together and this needs a slight adjust. It's really nice. And you don't always have that luxury with video games, especially a lot of times it's, we got to get this out the door, boom, 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 here's the budget, we're going to do the thing. And with them having set up that sort of expectation and that reputation for it's going to be out when it's done and when it's ready, when it's right, that whatever goes out the door is going to be good stuff. So it was very nice getting to play in that world.
Yeah, like I said, I've been playing all their games since 1994. So, and I'm no, I wasn't. I wasn't even 8. I was like 7. So yeah, I was really young.
Were strong.
So you happen to work on the game, which again hit me pretty strongly, was the Eternal Sonata. It's a music-based game, and you got to step in the roles of the famous composer Frédéric Chopin. How did you take on that, knowing I know you're a classical writer and things like that, so how did you take that on?
It was, I mean, there's something, even in a game as fantastic as that, there's something humbling about playing somebody who was an actual historical figure, even if what you are doing is pretty far divorced from their reality. There's an extra weight of like, oh man, I can't just go off the rails about this. And really, game-wise, that was one of my first really big parts too. So looking back, that there's nothing else quite like that game that I've done, and it's gratifying because people will still come through with copies of that to get signed, and it's nice to know that even now, yay many years after it came out, it still resonates with people. Yeah. So it's been a good run on that one.
Actually, I went and bought all the music to the to each start of the each chapter. Yeah, I bought all the piano music, and then on top of that, we've met DC Douglas, and he plays jazz, so that's really fun because I'm like, oh hey, it's jazz, this is cool. And the cool part is like if you know music, this is really fun because each character is named after a type of music or an instrument or a writing piece of it, so it's really really fun. And your character being Chopin, it's like you learn about his real life like throughout the game, and then you truly understand why he was the way he was, and unfortunately his tragic death at such an early age because medicine wasn't where it was, and his tuberculosis and things like that. So in our last interview, you also got to discuss that you were an English teacher and at a private school, and again some of the students found out who you were. That was quite entertaining. And you have a creative writing degree. Do you feel your time spent as a teacher has really actually helped you be a better writer and a better voice actor?
I don't know. I mean, I think in ways that are sort of hard to quantify. It all feeds into itself. I think that. Well, let me put it this way: when I came in to be a teacher, it was off of a year and a half of living in LA, trying to do the on-camera thing, and having no luck because I didn't know what I was doing because I was like 21. I just had no idea how that world or the world at large worked. So. I moved back to my hometown. I was in debt. I was depressed. I felt like after I'd been making such good time and all this progress that I just wasted a year and a half of my life, basically. So to come back, live at home, pay off the debt that I owed, have a job, be in a position of authority, and feel like I was helping people, and it was something I really needed. I mean, not only to get out of debt, but just sort of where I was at, my soul needed those 2 years. And ultimately, even though it wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my life, those were a very, very, very valuable 2 years. And I think that they allowed me to do the stuff I did afterwards. Even if it wasn't explicitly informing the acting, the writing, and the directing, I don't think I would have been able to move forward and do the stuff that I did if I hadn't had those 2 years to sort of refocus, center, get my act together, get even keel again. So, yeah, I think it did.
That's really cool. And because I actually tell people about your story sometimes when they're like, I'm kind of not feeling, I'm like, no, don't ever feel like that. Because there's, you can go talk to these other actors and they'll tell you how life can get better if you just keep pursuing it and making it better.
And it's easy to say in retrospect. Like at the time, I didn't know. Yeah. And at the time, you're just like, well, I'm just going to put my head down and do the thing and keep chugging forward. And then, it's the luxury of retrospect, being able to look back and go like, oh, okay, that worked out. Okay, fine. Yeah, no, good.
Yeah, because I take a lot of that in myself personally because I have SLD, which is a severe learning disorder, and that's of the written expression, yet I wrote all your questions. So that's actually a lot of fun. Now, are there any, we always know about the pesky NDA, and of course you work on a lot of great projects that are like, gotta wait. Like we said at the One Piece panel, you had to wait 5 years to talk about being Frankie in One Piece. So what's it like, what projects do you have that you can talk about?
That I can talk about? Oh man, let's see. Danganronpa 3, the Despair arc right now, which is airing. I am coming back and reprising my role as Nidai Nekomaru in that. And what else can I talk about right now? Can't talk about that yet. Grand Kingdom, which recently came out. I played a character named Graham. Big beefy dude with a low voice. Real stretch, I realize. As far as the other stuff, yeah, a lot of it I'm currently hamstrung by NDA, but I got some fun stuff coming up. I worked on a thing a couple of weeks back that am really looking forward to be able to pimp out and talk about explicitly.
Alrighty, and is there a way for fans to keep up with you? I know you and I keep up with on Twitter and every occasionally on some Facebook stuff, but is there any ways that fans can contact you? And then a final message for all the wonderful fans that have been watching.
Best way to keep in touch or keep track is probably at this point Twitter. I was a reluctant convert, but it's easier than Facebook. And Facebook, I feel like anytime I write anything, I'm like, okay, everybody, stop the presses. I have something to say. And I just feel very, sort of self-important. Whereas with Twitter, I can just be like, funny thing. Look at that picture. You know what I mean? I feel a lot less douchey going the Twitter route personally. So yeah, Twitter mostly. And as far as the fans, I mean, it feels like a blandishment saying this, but if you guys didn't love this stuff, I wouldn't have a job, and I'm so grateful to you guys that you have your passion for this. Even when I go to cons and people have no idea, it's not yay, they know who I am, they're throwing rose petals like it's an ego stroke. It's not that, because even when I go places, they have no idea who I am. Just getting to go out and see hundreds and thousands, tens of thousands sometimes, people all excited about what is, in the grand scheme of things, a very niche sort of sub-genre. It's cool. It's exciting. I mean, it speaks to their passion. It speaks to people wanting to feel like they're a part of something. It speaks to being able to find other like-minded people on the internet. Yeah. It's great all around. So just keep doing what you're doing, guys. I mean, you're doing just fine. Keep it up.
Alrighty, thanks you so much, Patrick, for talking with us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good to be here. Yeah.